sitting here wondering quietly to myself why my microphone isn't registering any audio, and then I realized VST host was down. Hello, welcome again to the Sonador Broadcasting System. This is your ever-faithful host, Sonador. For a few hours here, we're going to be doing some just casual source mapping. I've got a little project I'm working on. In a couple of minutes here, I'm going to give a call to an old friend that I haven't spoken to in some time, Useless Ghost. They do some source development as well, although I think their scope of development is a little more in the coding end of things. But before we do that, let me switch my scenes here and make sure we're actually getting a proper render, which it looks like we are. Good, good, good. So let's tab on over and give Useless Ghost a call. Hello?
Hey.
There you are.
Oh god, okay. I have to mute this stream because everything's getting confusing. So tell me, what is this map?
So this is a project I started, I don't know, Kazak actually would probably have a better window on when I started it, but it was some months ago. But it's a subway station kind of a thing. I'll do a quick fly through the map here. But it literally started as that little room we were in with the terrorist spawn point, and then I just kind of embellished from there for a few hours every day. And now it's about, I'd say about 75% done. It's supposed to be a Trouble in Terrorist Town map.
I can see that from the file name.
Yeah. But it's just a little thing I've been tooling around on. I've been trying to get better about making my stuff a lot less blocky. So I've been embellishing on the brushwork a little bit.
The thing with Source is that it's really hard to be not blocky without it just looking like ass.
Yeah, I've been meaning for quite some time to learn displacements, which kind of helps even out.
Displacements don't really... They're confusing, because it's like you can use them in some spots, but they don't really work all the time, and like they don't seal the map either, so it's confusing.
Yeah, I think I've learned a good formula for working with displacements, and that you flush out your map on the grid first with all of the map sealing elements, and then you add them afterwards. I think there's a project. So this project, I'm not going to be using any displacements on it. There's no real call for it.
There's no, yeah. I would not use displacements here.
Yeah, on my next project, it's going to be an outdoor town kind of a map. And I'm going to put that theory to the test and see how well it works out. But that's all for right now. Real quick, I'm going to fire up the map in Gary's mod and do a quick run through of it. Kazak may or may not join us a little bit later. He's eating right now.
So am I.
Yeah. But so it goes. It's all right. It's a comfy stream. We do what we want. I got some music playing in the background. If anybody over there in the chat box wants to comment on whether or not they can hear it, or if it's interfering with us talking, just let me know.
All of 3 viewers. It's probably you, me, and Kazak.
Yeah, it probably is. That was something that was stymieing me from streaming for a while. It was just, you know, I don't get many viewers, but with the launch of the YouTube channel, I know at least people can tune in whenever they want. So it's a lot less discouraging to have a discouraging to have a stream that doesn't necessarily have that many viewers. He says he can't hear it. I'll bump it up a little bit. There we go. That should be enough to hear it, but not enough to drown out the conversation here. So this is one of the spawn areas, which is kind of the lobby. There's that up there, but you can't get up there. It's just there to make the level look a little bit bigger than it actually is. This is kind of the area here. I was debating using custom textures to make it feel more like a subway station, but instead I've just elected to make this a non-custom content project. So instead I'm using the Nova Prospect cell block marker.
The Half-Life textures have a certain charm to them, even if they're not all revamped with Fong and stuff.
Yeah, they've got some stuff like that. I'm having trouble. Yeah, I'm having trouble with cube maps right now, but I'll look into that later since that's kind of almost a post-project thing. I like the flat look of the map when it doesn't have that sheen to it. The sheen just looks weird.
And some of the textures, yeah. Valve's implementation of Phong shading sucks a lot. To be brutally honest, it doesn't work when you put your flashlight over it. It's kind of wonky, and it makes some of the other shader parameters break. I know the environment mapping, the cube mapping. Some of the parameters don't work when you have Phong enabled for some reason.
Yeah, it's just weird. Source has always been that strange child of a gaming engine because they tried to push the envelope back when pushing the envelope was still a thing. So a lot of this stuff doesn't really work the way it's supposed to. But I like it because it's a versatile mapping system that I've been using for ages. Ever since Gold Source, I've been using it. But it is
and
very,
luckily
very,
for you,
very
the hammer
outdated.
interface hasn't changed since.
Yeah, how about that?
There's no learning curve.
Absolutely. There's a couple of features in Source that I had to learn, but that was about it.
Oh, Valve.
So. But you can kind of see where I'm going with this. It's got a thing. There's things. I'm trying to work on flow right now. There's going to be a couple more areas that I'm going to add that I'm going to be working on tonight. But for the most part, what I have established is done. There's nothing really that needs to be changed with anything that's already here.
More or less looks like a finished map to me. I wouldn't know the intricacies of map development though, so.
It's mostly throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. A large portion of this map was scratched on its initial, I guess, implementation, I guess you would say. That's a major thing that I do in my mapping, and I don't even intend to do it, is oh yeah. I'll show that to them.
Oh, does that lock actually lock the door?
Yes. Hang on. Let me do the thing. It's conveniently loading the load. Resets the map. So, yes. So as you can see, with the padlock on there, the door won't open, but we break the padlock off.
Cool bean.
Yep. Prop dynamics are really convenient for doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it was just an input, or if you just like the prop was frozen so the doors don't open.
Yeah, no, it's that doesn't work, because if that were the case, if I were to try to block it with a frozen prop, the door would just open into the prop.
Oh.
It's a logic system.
It's just right.
Yeah. When you break it, it throws a trigger that unlocks both of the doors. If I were to put, say, a frozen barrel here.
I always found the idea of triggers and inputs and outputs to be an interesting decision on Valve's part. Because it's quite flexible. It's also kind of goofy and out there and a bit confusing.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I've been using it for a while, so I kind of know what I'm doing. It's better than the Gold Source implementation, I will tell you that much, because there's at least a flow that you can do. Hang on, I'm going to cause the sheer apocalypse here. There's a flow. There's a built-in management system for using triggers. I'll show that off a little bit later. But you can follow it. On Gold Source, you literally just take an input and point it at an output and pray that it's the right output. And that's about it. So there's a thing over here. And I'm playing into the logic of TTT players. So this caution sign is actually a fizz box. And the fizz box is frozen until you break the board that it's attached to. And then, of course, once it's broken, you can pick it up and carry it around, and it's going to be a meme, if you will, within the map. Even players will break them.
Quality
break
memes.
The blank and carry around the sign. Just
we call it TTT meme.
Yeah.
Top of the workshop.
We have a little thing that the traders can do. So most TTT servers have slams as a trader weapon, which are basically a really stupid original name for a trip mine. So if you take the slam and put it right there, I think I screwed it up. I put it on the board. But if you take the slam and you put it on the pipe, it can't be seen unless you come over here and look up. So come here, it'll hit the board, and the slam will go off and just blow up and kill whoever's on the other side of the board. It's a convenient little trap that traders can use. There'll be some other things for them to do, but I have some plans. Today we're going to be implementing a security office here. There's going to be a door here. It leads to a little room, and there will be a window up there. or a viewport up there that players can sit in and have a sniping point for the hallway in the warehouse here. Funnily enough, this lighting was accidental. When I was implementing the lamps,
as most source lighting is.
Yeah, when I was implementing the lighting and stuff, the lamps were here first, and then the trucks just happened to take that spot, and now it really works, I think. But that's it for right now for the map. Let's actually get into mapping here. But speaking of logic entities, so in Source, we have a very convenient way of working with these. So when I highlight this padlock and I open up the properties box for it, we can go over to outputs. And there's literally a little spreadsheet here of what we want it to do. And the way it works is on break, which is a call for the prop dynamic entity, which means when I break it, it's going to fire a trigger, fire a logic call, or whatever you want to call it. And it targets, this is short for storage door left and storage door right. And it calls their unlock inputs, which obviously unlocks the door after a delay in 0 seconds. So immediately upon breaking the padlock, the doors are unlocked. So that's a thing. But it's pretty intuitive once you learn what you're doing with. But Source has that nasty trap habit of a lot of their inputs just don't work. They were planned, they were implemented, and they were never made to work.
Well, a lot of them,
a few of them like that
are just inherited from the entity that, you know, the entity that the entity you're trying to modify inherits from. So, like, front door would be the parent of, like, prop door rotating. So, like,
yeah.
That's a bad example because I think all of the inputs there would probably work, but, like, you can kind of see where the confusion would come in.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll come up with a couple of examples at some point. At 64, that's not going to work. Hang on a second. This needs to be 50.
There's also the fun trying to figure out which version of Source Gary's mod is on and trying to, like, get stuff to work.
With it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know that the TF2 spy cloak effect, that's a thing you can use in Gary's mod, because that's the same engine version. And I guess Valve just didn't ever modularize the engine so that was only in TF2. No, it's in, like, every Source game now.
Yeah, and it's really weird, because Gary's mod is its own branch of Source, if memory serves. Gary got a license for it, or something like that.
Well, it's weird, because for a brief period in Gary's mod's lifespan, it was his own engine. He'd check it out once, and he'd, like, never update it, and he'd occasionally update it, and it'd break everything, so he just stopped. And then he was like, I know what I'll do. I will dynamically link everything to Source, the latest version of Source, so that whenever TF2 updates, we get all the benefits. So that sounds like a good idea in theory, except when Valve, like, just completely fucking changes everything undocumented and never puts out a notice to third-party developers, so Gary's mod would be broken for a month at a time. Yeah. Because Gary just didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yep.
So now it is back on its own engine version, essentially, but it's based on whatever the Source engine, its most recent iteration, basically. The most recent iteration available to developers, at least.
Yeah. Something's telling me I'm having a brain fart here, because that doorway doesn't look right. Hang on. See if I can come up with... No, it's 56 by 112. It's the right size. It's probably because I haven't applied the texture yet. So let's do that now. Figure out what I want to do.
Of course it's hammer.
Yeah. Nothing looks right. It's really funny. Way back when I had no idea what I was doing with the Source engine, I would do maps and I would literally play it by ear. I didn't know dev textures were a thing.
Oh god.
So I would
just sorry.
Build it on a scale that was so horribly broken. It was great. I wish I still had my Half-Life maps, but they're on a computer that has long since gone to the great junk pile in the sky.
Someone in chat saying they hate Hammer.
Yeah, we hate Hammer too, but it's a love-hate relationship that we all must endure.
What do you mean? You don't like map development tools from the 90s?
Hammer's awful, but it's the stepfather that beats us, but we keep coming back, so don't worry.
Yes, but the Source 2 has a new hammer. It's got model viewers and it's like a big everything in one, like, general purpose editor like Unreal Engine kind of has now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing tons of praise about how Source 2 is the best thing since sliced bread, but here's the thing. From what I recall, it only supports Dota 2 right now, and let me tell
Oh
you,
yeah,
I don't play Dota 2 at all. So that's
I'm really
completely
bummed.
useless to me.
Well, Valve engines in general always used to make their debut kind of with Half-Life. So
Yeah.
it's like Source 2 is coming out, guys. Half-Life 3. No, actually, it's
No, it's
just
Dota.
remaking Dota 2.
Yeah, because way back when, Half-Life used to be the moneymaker, but now all the MOBAs caught on and everything. I use Source because it's just something that's familiar to me. I've been doing it for decades, and this particular project I'm working on is a Trouble in Terrace Town map, which is a game mode for the Source Engine game Gary's mod, or the Source mod Gary's mod.
Let me tell you about my playtime hours in Gary's mod. What do I have right now? I will pop open my Steam profile.
Last time I checked Wasted on Steam, I think I was ranked number 56 out of the 56,000 players that play Gary's mod. Yeah.
You have way more
like
than
that.
me. All right,
you're not
You're not even on Steam anymore, right?
No, I deleted my Steam.
Well,
as deleted as you can delete your Steam.
Yeah.
But
no, you had tens of like 10,000-ish.
Yeah, something like that.
I have like
I'm sure
2,000.
you could look it up. Yeah, I have way too many hours in. I'm amazed I haven't gotten the year achievement. A year of your life wasted. Yeah, Gary's mod is pretty great. The community, there's something to be said about the community, but you know that's something.
Oh, there's many things to be said of the community, but a lot of them are positive.
Yeah.
Coming from the development side of it, which is by far probably the largest community. Besides the player base itself, Gary's mod has. It seems to like fluctuate between developers who have a huge ego because they're good at coding and developers who think they're good at coding and have a huge ego. And
yeah.
Oh man.
See, I don't do coding development, so I don't ever get into that kind of a thing. But I play Gary's mod a lot, or I used to anyway. So let me tell you about the player base. But
Zones 2, it's coming.
Yep.
Official announcement.
That's all right though. I'm okay with it. I'm honestly okay with it. I will deal with it because I got no other choice to. Using JSON.
I still remember making that stupid like special shiny weapons thing, and like I just fucking captivated 2 players, and they were hunting all day for these stupid Halloween event candies, and they. That was the day I realized I have a terrible power that I can harness. I would be the best free-to-play developer ever.
Yep. Okay, so we need 6 of these stairs, because 6 times 8 is 6 times 8,
inventory database using JSON. It's funny you mention it, because I have a script fodder script that was put like the entirety of my income, and it's an inventory for Dark RP.
Yep. Alright, hang on 1 second. So building stairs in Source is one of those intricacies that is just wonderful. It's just
this reminds me of Doom mapping, which is essentially the same thing. It's just make a bunch of squares.
Yeah, pretty much. Except Doom, you only have a top and a bottom. In Source, it's free-floating 3D hell. Okay,
Doom mapping's cool, even if it's restricted.
Yeah. I used to map for the build engine for Duke Nukem 3D, and by map for the build engine, I meant I played around with the editor that shipped with the retail copy of Atomic Edition.
Was build 2D or 3D?
Build was 3D.
Oh, like full 3D?
Full 3D. It was sprites in 3D environment.
Well, I remember Duke 3D. It had jumping and looking, which were like 2 things Doom never had.
Yep. It was definitely an advancement. I still think that the greatest evolution of the build engine, I think, was Shadow Warrior.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. Okay, so these are all, let me switch it back to groups and make sure it took. Okay, this is a detail brush, so that won't affect the Viz cluster. This will seal the map. and then we build our hallway around it. So we need to take a brush here and put it on this side, bump up the scale a little bit.
Watchers using headphones might be glad to know that I just finished my muffin, so now you don't have to, you know, hear horrible chewing noises all day.
Your ASMR experience has been...
Oh man, you pay me money so I can eat muffins on a stream. You will not regret it.
Yep. I don't know. Speaking of ASMR, I was just watching Vinesauce, and they're doing Mario Galaxy Repainted right now. And they were talking about,
I was watching that, and there's a Carl Luma, and I love it.
Yes, it's the best. There was the world. I think it's the Honeycomb Galaxy or whatever it was.
The Nick Cage bee.
Yeah.
Oh,
the background music is Huey Lewis in the News. Fuck bees. Great. It's awesome.
Oh, I have a friend who was telling me about that.
Yep. Vinesauce is great. I'm really happy to tune in and realize that although the content has definitely not gotten stale, it's mostly the same as when I last watched them, which is really comforting. I don't know if I want to use this texture.
I'm not sure if I'm still on Mental Jen's bad side. The one day I upset her.
See, I don't remember that. I still hang out with Mental Jen. She hasn't said anything bad about
you. You were frustrated at me because it was a big conflict, and you were like, "I want to see the logs of what specifically you said," and then I was like, "I'd have to hunt it out," and you're like, "No, I need to see the logs."
See,
so I did.
I have selective memory, so I can't even remember any of this.
You were fed up with everything that day, I think, and you just. She was like using a Minecraft server or two, and I was sending her a message because it was a Windows server.
That's right.
And I was like, "Hey, stop that!" Because you're using up like 90% of our RAM, and you got an angry message from her saying like, "Why is this person threatening me?"
Yeah,
because I'm an angry sysadmin.
Jen gets like that sometimes. She's got.
I was trying to be polite, but came off extremely passive aggressive. I think.
Yeah, that's all right. The server's long dead and gone, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Bringing it back, baby. You don't know, but I got this Base Wars game mode. It's gonna be all the rage.
Oh yeah.
Gonna capture the West Coast Gmod audience that almost doesn't exist. It's almost entirely East Coast and France.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the
Which, by the way, came out of nowhere.
Yeah. France does do that. I think it's because their community is a little more interconnected than ours is. So when something catches, it catches like wildfire.
It happened. It felt like it happened overnight. It happened within a month. It was just like suddenly 25% of the traffic on script fodder was like France, and everybody was just like, what happened? Apparently, some popular French streamer just started doing Gary's mod, and then like overnight, everything was baguettes.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like what would have happened in my opinion. There's probably a great deal of clout to that particular theory. Alright, hang on. I'm going to try and do this right here. So the wall height and source is 128, so I gotta get that right. And then we're going to take this to match so it lines up with the ceiling of the room, which is going to be a little bit weird. But that's
what is my opinion on Unity? I don't know about Sonar, but I think Unity's cool. But it's got its flaws. That's not to say Source doesn't. Source definitely has its fair share of flaws, if not 90% of the engine is built on flaws, but...
Yeah, my opinion of Unity isn't that great because the only work I've done with Unity was about an hour's worth of work trying to help a guy with his iPhone game. So, I don't have a real great opinion about it.
It's hard for me to say something like, I don't like how easy to use it is, because that sounds extremely dumb, but I don't know, man. Like, it just opens the floodgates, kinda, and everybody complains about, like, oh, why are there are these crap games on Steam? And it's like, well, when's the last time someone made some good with RPG Maker, really?
I don't know.
That's a bad... Some of my favorite games are RPG Maker games, so, like, I don't want to say RPG Maker, but, like, the boundary is very low. So, for every Off and Yume Nikki and
There you go. That's what I was trying to think of something to say about that, but I couldn't think off the top of my head what I wanted to use as an example.
I recently played Off, and I think it's cool, but I would not recommend it to anybody who didn't have an interest in surreal RPGs, because
It's
Off is a
definitely
real
an art game, yeah.
as an
That's
RPG.
something I've seen
Alright.
a lot of with these RPG Maker games is they're going for the art market. They're producing a game to evoke emotion, and that's actually something that's really cool to me. Games like Space Funeral and Off and Yume Nikki and all of this. It's really good because you wouldn't see a game on that platform otherwise, I think.
No, I just have I have trouble finding it in myself to recommend Off to people, because I think I was talking with you earlier yesterday about this. Like, Off is too artsy and it doesn't do enough as a game to really be a thing I'd recommend.
Yeah, you have to have friends that are definitely into that kind of weird surrealism kind of a thing. Otherwise, they're just plain old not gonna get it.
It's like Undertale, because everybody's talking about it. By the way, go vote Undertale on the GameFAQs poll, because everybody's really mad about it, and it makes me so happy.
Speaking of terrible engines producing amazing games, how about that Undertale game that was produced on fucking Game Maker
Undertale
Studio?
is a game I'd recommend to everybody, not like Off, because it actually does something with the gameplay.
Yeah.
But that's not its strength. Its strength is the characters. The story isn't even that unique, or like, it's not that, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's you got to save the world, and you save the world with friendship, and that's about as anime as hell as you can go sometimes. But man, does it do a lot, because it can, unlike most games that write in you liking the characters, where it's like, you've always had a game where you're like, where it plays up this one character and then the character dies. And you're like, why did I care about that? I'm not supposed to, like, that character sucked. So why is there, what's the matter? But Undertale kind of banks on that still, and it manages to accomplish it because all the characters are so well written.
Yeah, that's very true. Undertale did a lot. There's a lot of, I honestly think there's a lot of hype there that's not necessarily, I don't want to say not necessarily deserved, but I think it is a little bit overhyped. But the bottom line is, it's a really good game. I recommend it for anybody who's into the RPG genre of game, especially if you've.
I don't
ever
recommend it to RPG
Earthbound.
fanatics. I don't think it's the sort of game you'd recommend to an RPG person, because they'd go in expecting Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or something that has a deep progression to it, and Undertale is specifically designed around subverting those tropes.
Yeah, you've got a point there. I say that because I like to give people new things to experience. So
by all
would
means,
recommend it to somebody.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I hate this texture. This texture has a tiling problem. If you look right there, there's dirt on the right side of the wall that's prevents it from tiling correctly. Otherwise, it's a really great texture, but I can't use it.
I agree too. It is overhyped, but that isn't going to stop me from telling people to vote for it on GameFAQs, because I love how butt mad people are over that.
Yeah, it definitely is. There's the only thing about Undertale that I can complain about is you almost have to be a member of the Homestuck crowd to kind of appreciate some of the humor that it attempts and some of the tropes that it uses.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not. I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I hate Homestuck though. I don't have the drive to care for it. I've tried every so often. I'm like, I'm gonna read Homestuck and I'm gonna be the Tumblr idiot who talks about it 24/7. I'm gonna make fan troll. No, I just can't get into it.
Yeah, it's definitely on that level there. I read through Problem Sleuth, which is, for those that don't know, it's in one of Andrew Hussey's earlier works. I thought Problem Sleuth was just the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's also a finished adventure, so somebody can get into it and read it from start to finish, which is something that makes it easier to recommend. I think, well, part of what makes Problem Sleuth so great is it's just so out there. There's so much happening at any given time in the story, and it plays it off really well. Conversely, I think Homestuck tried to attempt that, and it just got way too out there. There's way too much going on, and you can't keep track of it at all.
I don't like I don't like when people hate on a game because of its community, but man, Homestuck's community.
Yeah.
What a wild ride.
I don't fault Andrew for that, though. You can't help the people.
Well, no, of course not. You can't. It's like saying. It's like saying fucking what's his name? I can't remember the creator of Pokemon, but like it's like saying the creator of Pokemon is solely responsible for the, you know, the absolutely kind of god awful community.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was talking with a friend earlier, and we were talking about how Pokemon, despite everything, it's somehow worse than My Little Pony.
I would beg to differ, although Pokemon does have some spin-off groups that are just really, really weird.
Yeah. We were just like with another friend. I was talking like, you know, the Pokemon community doesn't have a lot to show for its efforts. At least the My Little Pony like bronies and all that, they have something to like show, and they have fan works that, you know, you can see the effort put into them. I'm not endorsing them. I think they're shit. Like the fighting game that got kick-started, I want to say, but I don't think it got kick-started, actually. I think it was just like them doing it for the hell of it. And it got endorsed by Laren Foss. The game looks shitty as hell, but you can see the effort into it.
Yeah.
It looks shitty as hell as a game, I should clarify.
Yeah. Hang on one second here. I need to look at this and measure it correctly.
I don't feel like Pokemon has that same dedication and level of quality in the fan works.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. I don't follow the Pokemon fandom or the My Little Pony fandom very closely, so I wouldn't know what to say.
I'm kind of into Pokemon because I'm a nerd and I'm a grown adult and a fucking neckbeard.
Okay, this is weird. Alright, hang on one second here. It looks like I mismeasured something.
That said, I have... What do I have? I have Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire on my Game Boy Advance and 3DS respectively. On both games, I just lost interest in the exact same spot. They're both saved at the exact same spot, and I haven't touched them in, like, months.
Yeah, hang on one second. So I accidentally made 7 stairs instead of 6, so now I gotta fucking fix this.
Ruined it.
Soiled it. I should have realized that when I went to do the baseboard, and the baseboard wasn't 48 units, but hey, you know, you live and learn. Make mistakes, and it's all wonderfully terrible. There's something else I wanted to talk about, but of course it slipped my mind at this particular moment because everything is falling apart around me. Okay.
I interrupt you.
No, I interrupted me with my horrible mapping techniques, but...
Good job,
yeah.
idiot.
I'm the worst. But thankfully, I've learned very quickly on to try and build on the largest grid possible, so that when you make a mistake, it's very easy to correct it like that. That was, what, like less than a minute of corrective work, whereas other mistakes would be like, awful forever. Alright, so we're going to take this wall and we're going to extend it over here to make it part of the enclosed room.
Where'd all the chat messages go? They just disappeared.
I don't know. I see all the messages on my end. Nobody's cleared chat just yet. Although we lost 2 of our reviewers, I think. From what it says. The viewer count might be...
Want to hear my hot takes on My Little Pony and Pokemon? Come on now. You do.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Pedro and Michael took off, but that's alright. Alright, let me do the floor. Floor's kind of important. So So this is the weird thing. Like, I want to make this... If I could, I wish I could make the stairwell flush with the wall, but I can't. So I gotta do a little thing to make it more...
Was the grid off? Oh, you mean that texture, though.
Hang on. This is 24, so we need to make this 24. Apply it there, and then we slice the brush, and then we delete the other side of it. There we go. Now it's a little bit more organic. Also, I need to move this down so it matches the ceiling again. Did that remove that awkward little... No, still got the nib there, but that's alright. That's cool. We'll work with it. And good, this doesn't touch the ceiling, so I don't have to slice up that brush. Awesome.
Oh, I see what you mean. See, because we're using Twitch, everything's just delayed. So.
Yeah, there's going to be a 10 to 15 second delay. I've tried to minimize it as much as possible by using a lower bit rate, but it's just going to be awful.
There's no point.
Okay.
Twitch sucks.
This is seal the room. Yes, this seals the room. Add the brush. Okay. Now I'm going to take that and copy that for the floor. And there we go. Now, because that sticks out a little bit, we're going to have to cut this brush and move it back under the wall. So we're going to slice it there. Nope. I'm going to slice it. No, that was right. I was looking at the edge. And for some reason I can't see that line unless I adjust the thing. That's another thing. God damn. Render your lines a little bit more clearly. Okay. Alright, slide this brush back so it's under the wall. And there we go. Now we have a sealed room. At this point I could compile the map and it wouldn't have a leak. Okay. Make a texture for the floor. We're going to have to do a tile texture so that it matches the chingadera, the stairs. And in fact, it lines up. Good. In fact, I can just alt-right click and then reapply the texture, and it should perfectly line up like that. Awesome. Although I think I elected to use the wrong stair texture because that's brighter than the other one. Shit.
Ruined.
Yep, pick the
ruined.
Fuck. It's okay, we can...
Nice. You people were in the chat?
Yes, the little lines at the bottom next to the smiley button.
Oh, duh, the little lines, as opposed to the other lines.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm not a moderator.
Yeah, we should probably fix that.
With my user account that is intentionally misspelled because Twitch sucks.
Although they did implement a thing where you can take over any abandoned usernames.
Oh fuck! Can I do that right now?
It takes a while because they gotta inquire with.
I don't even care then. I don't even care then. I tried to sign up for Twitch and I used my normal, not typoed name, and then it I think I made a typo in the email and I could just never get it back. I never cared to fix it, so it was just like, just fucking throw an A in there.
Oh, if you already own the username, you should be able to recover it.
I have tried. I don't know what the hell I did, but it's just mysteriously gone. Or maybe someone took it. I vaguely remember trying to sign up, and then I just fucked it up, and I never cared to fix it.
Yeah. Alright. Shift all these over. Fuck. Gotta fix these now.
Probably uses an old password that I've forgotten long time ago.
I've forgotten so many passwords. I'm so thankful that Google is a data mining company and saves all of your information because I would be so lost without them. Real talk.
I recently had to change all my passwords because Patreon's bad.
Yeah, how about that?
And it's I have stories to tell about Patreon, but I'll condense it by saying I have been screwed by Patreon a few times, and it's really annoying when it happens. It's mostly just artists who are like, oh, you'll get your reward, and then you do it, and then you don't realize that, oh, it charges you at the end of the month, so here you are waiting, and then you realize, wait a minute, the artist's going to take a while to do this anyways, so now you're waiting again,
Yeah, that's the thing about the Kickstarter perk I picked for the thing. I bought it, but then I realized it's not going to be available for a while, probably until mid-2016. So, but that's okay. I honestly expected it to do something like that. So we're going to shrink that down and then move that over there.
But the specific artist I got a reward from, I got a message from them saying, "Oh yeah, I'll start work on November, or I guess December's rewards in January." I'm like, "What? What? Why? Like, what the hell? Like, what are we waiting for here?"
Yeah.
Like, he just does it the month after, I guess. Now he didn't do that before, like a few months earlier, but so yeah. And then it got hacked, and then I got a really spooky email from an anonymous, I guess, scammer group who are like, "Hey, we have your everything because Patreon got hacked. Give us a Bitcoin or we'll just leak it everywhere." And it's like,
wow.
They said something like, "Oh, we have your credit card number and your social security number and your tax forms." And it's like, I don't have a credit card.
It's like those Indian scammers that call and say, "Oh, we have your computer," and they do it to my grandmother. And
yeah, I've had it a few times. I had a few like panic run out into the living room, like, oh god, everything's fucked moments with my parents.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they didn't install anything, so it was just like, okay, keep an eye on your bank account, I guess.
Yeah. You don't submit your social security thing to.
Well,
Anyway.
if you make money off of Patreon, then you do, like, you get tax forms, and for that you need your social security number and blah 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 blah. But not only do I not have a credit card, I never put my social security number in the public, like, well, not in the public, but you know, I've never put it on a website for any reason. Not even PayPal has it, which is probably the one thing I should probably attach it to, because PayPal can just freeze accounts for the slightest fucking infraction.
Yeah, until you call them and tell them that they're...
Until you call them and they're like, "Everything's broken, please help."
I don't know. I've had a few friends get screwed by PayPal before, and I just walk them through. Look, they'll do it because they think they can get away with it. You just have to call them and tell them that if you don't stop, I'm going to sue you and or call the police, and then they immediately unfreeze your shit and take away all of your penalties. Indian business practices at their best.
I recently learned that if you call them up after getting a chargeback, the $20 fee you normally get for just receiving a chargeback, they will refund that.
Because they have to, because they're not allowed to charge that.
It was just like, oh, that would have been nice to know after I won like a chargeback case and I lost money on it anyways, because fucking $20 fee for a $7.50 product. Fucking.
Yep.
I haven't gotten a chargeback in a very long time, and I'm quite happy about it.
I almost had to charge back some Singaporean guy. I did a commission, and I accidentally sent it to the wrong email address because the proper email address had 2 I's instead of 1 I.
Oops.
And I had to send an email to this. It eventually worked out. The guy was pretty cool, but there was no response for like a week, so I was like, fuck, am I going to have to charge back?
That's scary as shit. That's like my biggest fear with PayPal. It doesn't... Like, it's just enter an email. Make sure it's right, because otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah, and it was just weird. So the person I was doing it from was Tanushi, and the person that I sent money to was a guy named Tricky Tan. And so I looked at it and I'm like, okay, maybe this is just a pseudonym or something. This seems legit. And it wasn't. So.
Uh-oh. That's always like the first thing I confirm when I'm just buying, like getting a commission or something. It's just, hey, did you get the thing I sent? Because if you didn't, I have things to answer to.
Did you get that thing I sent you? Yeah.
I've never made that mistake, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yet.
I have once. I will never again.
Yeah, I am the sort of person who will like triple check everything. I have no fear with PayPal, only anger. Believe me, Kazak. I am with you. The feeling is mutual.
He really, really hates PayPal because they've screwed him in one of the worst ways possible.
Did everything just disappear from his account, basically?
No, his account just disappeared and he can never get one again because they're assholes. But
Why is it like he was under... They discovered he was under 18 and it was just like, that's it? You're out, you're gone. Bye.
He started to register and wasn't aware that he couldn't register because he was underage, so he waited. And when he finally went to go register because he was on the age he was supposed to, they gave him a whole ton of shit and wound up banning him permanently from the service because he got impatient with one of the service reps. How dare he have so much as an insinuation of dissent against the PayPal overlords. Okay, so the room is sealed. I'm really leery about compiling the map while I'm streaming. But technically, if I force the compile process onto a set of cores and leave a couple of them open, it should work. But you know what? We'll compile it when I'm done streaming. I'm just gonna make as much progress as humanly possible. Fluorescent light fixture that I can do. There's one. I'm the laziest mapping motherfucker. My general modus operandi is to just copy paste fucking everything. It's terrible and it's horrible except when it works.
I get my marks back for an assignment that I submitted forever ago.
The fluorescent light fixture is such a fucking princess of a prop. You have to reduce the grid to the lowest grid setting that you possibly can in order to get it to work.
Kazak, you can you can probably get it fixed if you call, because PayPal support, despite everything, is pretty okay. It's the goddamn monkeys working the auditing system that just don't give a shit.
The call center is based in the United States because it was formerly a part of eBay. But the automated system and the people who work on the web backend are based in India because it's outsourced. So you'll have the horrible Indian business practices. You might be able to fix it if you call, but on the same token, I'm with you on the fact that you just don't want to waste the effort unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, just pay with a credit card if you can.
Hang on, my grandmother's coming down the hall.
Everybody quiet. Sonodo's grandma.
She's going into the kitchen. I wanted to see if she needed something. Usually she'll come down the hall when she needs something from me.
Need to hide from her. Can't let her know that you're a horrible hammer editor. She'll be ashamed that you're using such an old engine.
Yeah.
Grandma will come and be like, why aren't you using an Unreal Engine for you, pleb?
Oh, jeez, please excuse me for not knowing even the most
Grandma,
remote thing about modeling. Yeah, they have a monopoly, and they I think part of the reason eBay split from PayPal is because they were getting ready to receive an antitrust lawsuit because they had not only eBay, which is
does not surprise me in the slightest,
the only auctioning site that's reputable in the business, but they also had PayPal, which is one of the only money transfer sites that's reputable in the business. So they split up.
Stripe is picking up. Stripe is a payment processor.
Stripe's good. Amazon had a thing for a while, but I think they shut that down. Google.
Now it's just Google had a thing and they shut it down.
Yeah, but they're reopening it as something else. If
Android, kind of, because it's like they shut down Google Wallet for payment online transactions, and then they're like, oh shit, Android Pay is coming out all of a sudden because Apple's doing it. So shit, we have to get our payment processor kind of working again.
Yeah.
Because, mobile payments, guys, it's the future. I can't wait to drop my phone and not be able to pay for anything.
Yeah.
I am very critical of mobile payments. I think they're dumb.
It's funny, my business is, my bank is just now starting to issue debit cards with the smart chip on them.
Serious?
Just now.
Chips or the wireless chips?
Both. The smart chip
okay.
and the tap. I think.
But you were on mag strips before.
Yeah.
Yikes. We've had chips for years now in Canada, and my bank just got the like wireless debit cards. I haven't gotten one yet because I'm a lazy shit and I don't like going to the bank. It's very intimidating.
Yeah, I haven't been inside of my branch in a while because I've honestly had no reason to. You know what?
I'm still in there every so often. On Monday, I get to go there to deposit a check, and I guess I have to renew my fucking insurance on my car.
Yeah. These are brain.
Oh, that's gonna be fun because I rear-ended someone 2 months ago, and
oh no.
Uh-oh. The funny thing is, I got the mail saying, "Hey, your insurance is expiring. You should get it renewed, idiot." And I was due for a discount if I hadn't hit that person, but like, it still says I get the discount, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if they haven't processed it yet, but it's been.
They may not have claimed against you.
They did though.
Oh, then I don't know what.
I got a phone call and everything saying, "Hey, make a claim because this other person made a claim, and we're gonna send angry people at you if you don't make a claim."
Yeah. Shit. Okay, I wanted to use this texture in here so it would match up, but I can't because it's not quite on the grid correctly. So we're just gonna spam Control-Z until all of my mistakes disappear.
Panic.
Except undo stopped working for some reason. That's okay. I fixed it myself. Alright, so that's the security office. The window's breakable, and it's a one-way window, so somebody in here can see out there, but they can't see in until the window's broken. So that's the thing. Alright. It's all sealed up as far as I can tell.
Everybody talks about credit unions, but I don't know. I just
credit
go to
unions are better than banks. They don't charge fees. They have lower interest rates. They're generally more consumer-oriented because they're not established for as much profit as banks are.
See, that's in America, though. We have a very different banking system.
Yeah,
well,
it's
of.
a very American thing. Banks out here, I had Wells Fargo for a while, and boy, do I have a story for you. Back when I was working in retail making minimum wage, I didn't have very much money, and I accidentally overdrafted my checking account by, I think, 35 cents? So they charged me a $25 fee because I overdrafted my checking account by 35 cents. And then, every day after that, they charged me a $5 fee. So I wound up owing them something like 225 bucks because I didn't look at my online statement thing.
That sounds like banks.
Yeah.
This is why I pretty much check my fucking bank account obsessively. Not that it's an issue right now. Like, I have a job now, and I'm not a fucking bum who makes not even minimum wage online. But yeah. So now I have money again, and it's nice.
Good. Alright, so we're gonna do a thing.
I just spend it on hamburgers and pizzas, though, so, you know, because I'm a responsible adult.
Yeah. You should ask Isaac how many times I order pizza, just because I don't feel like cooking.
I think I've gone to a pizza a week at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty much around that point. Alright, so we're going to dip into my other map, TTT Partition, which I abandoned, and steal the security stuff from it. Because I can.
Oh, damn, there's a lot of shit there. Your Dropbox looks like my Dropbox. Where there's just a million projects. They're like, none of them are... They're all in various states of completion.
Various states of abandonment, more like, for me.
Yeah, kind of. More or less.
Pretty much. Make sure I get all those prompts. Can I get everything? It certainly looks like it. Oh boy. Here I go. Alright, so now we close this project.
Here I go!
And thankfully, instancing is a thing in Source, so I can just do this. Nope. Haha, joke's on me, I didn't do it right. So let's go grab that again. Yeah, this was a map. This was an interesting map. In fact, I think I can bump over into Gary's mod and show the last iteration that I had. No, I can't. I'd have to compile it again. It's not here anymore. Yep.
Some incidental trombone for you.
Yep. So, let me go back here and just grab all this shit again.
Your fonts look different than my Gary's mod fonts.
I might have downloaded a font pack at some point.
Ah. Yeah, everything looks like slightly different. I'm just staring at it. What's going on with those fonts?
I have no idea. Gary's Mod has always been a strange animal for that.
Well, there's a weird thing where like I ran into a server that made me download fonts, but it made me download fonts that were named the same as like default Windows fonts. So like,
yeah.
As it turns out, if you really wanted to be an asshole, you could set up a server that's just makes people download Wingdings 50 times and like just name it Tahoma and fucking Arial and everything. Yeah. And then their Gary's Mod would just be fucking Wingdings. Or better yet, Comic Sans.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Admin slow hacking has reached a new level of evil.
Guys, this guy Serverwatch.
Oh no.
Oh no. He's really out. He's out there for the people, looking out for the people. He's getting all those admin slow hackers.
The way of the prop has been infected.
Fucking. He's still there. I'm surprised he's not banned.
I hate. So you know the reason he's still there is because Craptasket just keeps him there to laugh at him.
Yeah. The moderators just don't care. It's hilarious. It's good. It's like when there was a guy who always did like comics that were completely irrelevant and like posted them sensationalist headlines, and like nobody banned him for months because it was just the funniest thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So long as you're funny, you can get away with just about anything on Face Punch, to be quite honest.
It's corrupt. The admins. It's admin harassment.
Yeah. But it's a good thing I know my rights and made my ban me thread. Man, that was the best thing ever.
Oh man.
I don't know, my productivity like shot way up when I made
it. Would probably do the same for me if I just banned myself from Face Punch, but I don't know. I would be lost without it.
Yep.
Oh, Kaizek, you're not getting any pizza. Go away. It's my pizza.
Every time I come back with food, this garbage cat is just like...
Every fucking time, this fucking cat gives me this face.
That's okay. I don't know what I'd do without him. Move the thing. Put the thing there. Put it. Get the keyboard on the desk. There you go. Good work.
This keyboard's just kind of out there, hanging out.
Yeah. It's special. Don't worry about it.
It's like my keyboard, but it's like... I have a corner desk. Go
on. So, the very first time I started using these props from Half-Life 2, I spent an hour looking for them, using like keyboard and tower and computer and
some stupid.
And it's hard drive. The name of the prop is hard drive.
Yep. It's
fucking. There's a prop that is literally misspelled. Let me. So they have a whole bunch of fluorescent light props, but there's only one that mounts to the ceiling, and it's an interior prop. And if you look for it, you have to spell it fluorescent, like a
fluorescent.
Fluorescent. That's the only ceiling-mounted fluorescent prop in the entire game.
Valve quality.
Yep. Okay, that actually worked out rather well when I deleted a couple of those monitors and the bridging thing there, so now we've got a desk there.
Gmod has a hold type called dual, because it's dual handguns. It's like the dualies in CSS.
Yeah.
It is spelled dual as in like a duel between two people.
Yep.
And I don't know why it's named that, but it's just there.
Yepper.
There's a lot of weird shit like that in Gary's mod. It's also really inconsistent because Gary is British, but he kind of tries to use American English as much as he can.
Yeah.
Except when he doesn't. So all the Lua bindings are, like, occasionally you'll have a U in there.
Yep. Train is such a fucking princess of a texture storage because they don't use information to denote what the item actually is. So you have to literally type in the map name and just scroll around for it. Where is the sign?
That's
There it is. See, the authorized personnel and only sign is labeled train security decal. Like,
yep, that sounds about right.
I'm gonna put a keypad there because I can. And it has to be prop dynamic because God forbid you make a prop that's static that, you know, doesn't do anything. I'm sorry, you were saying?
What?
It has to be a prop dynamic. It can't be a prop static if it's a keypad. Certain props don't have static compilation. Don't ask me why.
That's really odd because I wasn't even aware that was a thing.
Yep, it will throw an error and remove the prop from the compile process.
Cool. I for the longest time didn't know that keypad was a thing because in Gary's mod, my first encounter with a keypad was the keypad like SWAP, and I never knew it looked like that without the stupid interface on top of it. So I don't know, like I was just baffled when I saw it. Like it wasn't just black and white.
Yep. Yep, and if you look at it through a hint brush, the interface won't get rendered and you can see it from a distance. That's also why the keypad doesn't have a 0. So there we go. Put that there. I think that's about it. Hand level. We could put a dude there to verify. God,
you know, they could add a 0 if they just... Like, because it's 4 rows, right? In the keypad SWAP. And one of them's accept and deny. So, like, why not just put it between those? And I think one of the fan, like like a fork of it has been made, and it adds 0, and everybody like flipped out. It's like, what the fuck? We can use 0.
Fuck. What was the name of the thing? Info terrorist? No.
The spawn points?
Yeah.
Why not just use the CSS? Oh, is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the
info
entity.
Player info spawn, info player spawn.
Info player terrorist. I know it had terrorist in it.
It's always info player something.
It's about at hand level for him. If his arm were bent. Okay.
There's actually not much lag.
Huh?
There's actually not much delay.
It gets better the longer I stream. The delay reduces.
Weird.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta make sure you're not streaming like a movie. Because, you know, that's the biggest issue Twitch has right now. They won't let me watch my 24/7 hour streams of Food Fight. I'm so depressed. I was so crushed when I learned that that stream had shut down on live stream. I was like,
are you for real? There was a 24-hour Food Fight live stream?
Yeah, and it was live for years, I think.
Oh my god.
Like, I was like, my friend hadn't heard of Food Fight, and like a year ago I remember watching Food Fight on this stupid 24/7 hour Food Fight stream on not Justin TV, but it was like live stream, whatever, like the old one.
Yeah,
before.
livestream.com.
Yeah, it was just the old one. And I was like, I wonder if that's still active. I wonder if I can just show my friend Food Fight by going to that stream. And sure enough, it was waiting for me because I tuned in and it started from the very beginning of the movie. I was just like,
boy.
Here you go. Here's the 24/7 hour fan stream of Food Fight. He was blown away. He was not expecting that.
Yeah, that would be one way to put what the experience of watching Food Fight would be.
We were in the middle of class too, so it was just like everybody crowded around us, wondering what the hell we were watching. It was just like, and someone was like, "Is that Food Fight? Are you guys watching Food Fight in class?" And we're like, "Yep."
I'm amazed they didn't experience Food Fight before it caught fame.
I know. I was baffled.
But I don't know. Okay. Decided to implement my spawns while I was here. Okay. You know what I might do? I might render this and just go take a quick visit. Let me see what I can do.
Everything will break.
It should be good, actually. I've got a 4 gigahertz processor, and I just cleaned this thing.
All right, you have a nice i7.
Yep. It's still not the best, though, according to that benchmarking program. But fuck that benchmarking program, it's a heretic.
You got an i7, man. You don't have to worry about that. The difference is negligible at that point.
Yeah.
I have an AMD 63,000, and it works. It's not particularly fast. Well, it's fast, but you know.
See, I've never used an AMD chipset, and I don't intend to ever use an
Don't.
AMD chipset. So
If you're on a budget, they're fine. But like, the performance benefit you get in gaming from like AMD versus Intel is like kind of irrelevant. It might make a difference in Gary's mod because it's a single-threaded piece of shit, but in like pretty much anything else, the difference will be almost negligible because everything's GPU heavy and not CPU heavy.
yeah. Hang on. Okay. Let's see what I can do to flesh this out. This wall is really blank, so I'm going to add a corkboard to it, and that's done by not putting a texture up, but actually using a prop physics multiplayer with some custom things. Bulletin? No. Cork? Yes.
What are you looking for? Oh, a prop.
CS Office corkboard, yeah.
What is the difference between a prop physics and a prop physics multiplayer?
Prop physics multiplayer uses a light version of physics so that it's easier for the server to sync its position across multiple.
I see.
There's a higher level of precision in air quotes, between the regular prop physics and the prop physics multiplayer. That didn't take up much real estate.
You shouldn't really be using prop physics and unless it's like something like that where it would fall off the wall, but
yeah. You got to remember this is TTT, so I do have to include some prop physics because the poltergeist is the thing.
Oh, right.
So, but yeah, otherwise I kind of keep it really sparingly, and I use simple props whenever I can to do that. I don't think
please optimize your maps. Please optimize your maps, because Gary's mod is not a very well-performing game, and it does not benefit from a giant maps that have like no fucking what do you call it?
Optimization, hints and skips.
Yeah.
View portals.
Occluding, I guess.
Occluders, yeah.
World portals. World portal everything.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't use any of those optimizations in my maps.
TTT is fine.
I very rigidly follow the rules when it comes to stuff like that. Anything that doesn't seal the map, anything that doesn't seal the map is a prop detail, or a func detail, excuse me. So it's very easy for the game to calculate where the view portals are for things like that.
Yep.
Put some stains on the floor because this is Half-Life and it's a gross, ugly world.
I always call the traders and TTT terrorists, and I always get corrected by a friend of mine who does play TTT kind of religiously.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
it's funny because when you think about it, the traders, when you refer to them as terrorists, you're objectively wrong because
I thought
terrorists are CTs.
I thought about that. I'm like, wait a sec. They're the good guys.
Yeah, they're CTs. It's actually a thing. If you kill more than 6 terrorists in a round, you get the GoldenEye post-round thing of counter-terrorist operative.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, the thought just hit my head, like, whoa, TTT is really deep.
Yeah.
There's so much lore to TTT.
Yeah, man. And then you get those guys that are super overachievers and they try to put, like, maps, and they have, like, plot to the maps. It's like, wow.
Why, though? That's dumb.
Because they're
Gary's
bad.
mod is a game without imagination. You don't need to do that. The players will do that for you. Well,
yeah.
Ideally.
Yep, pretty much. Okay, I think that is... I'm going to move that stain over so it looks like...
We have 6 whole viewers.
Wow.
Hello.
That's the most it's been in quite some time. Welcome, guys. We used to stream quite a bit way back when. We're just now getting back into the swing of things, so thanks for dropping by.
We had 6, maybe.
Oh, they heard my voice and they took off. panicked.
I think the viewer number just forgot to update because I went to the like chat view and it's like no one's here.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
they're
alright.
just guests. Hello,
Yeah, for
guests.
Something like that. For those of you that are tuning into the live stream, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome too. I'm gonna avoid being the trope of trying to encourage you guys to do things, but we stream somewhat frequently when I can find the time. Usually I actually play video games instead of building them, but right now I just want to do a comfy stream. I want to build some stuff. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and compile it. So this is gonna take a few minutes. It shouldn't take too long.
It's a small map.
When we do that, I'm gonna pull up my thing here.
Oh, my voice is really raspy, so I'm sure everybody's really enjoying this.
Deeply. There it goes.
Talking. Not a very good talker. Enunciate. Gotta really hit those loud C's so the mic goes bad.
Yep.
I spike the.
Here we are back to 3 viewers again. Yep, everything is right in the world. Alright, I've still got 0 drop frames. We're pulling 54 FPS, so we're doing pretty good. And it's done. Alright, let's go take a look at our work. See how horribly it broke. I didn't see anything about a leak in the compiler, so I think it's sealed properly. No, it's not. It definitely did. No, it did. There's light on the ceiling. Never mind.
Oh no!
That's the easiest way to tell whether or not your map is leaked is you look at the ceiling, and if there's no light on the ceiling, then you fucked up. I'm also pulling something like... Oh, well, I can't measure accurately because I'm streaming, but I'm still pulling about 100 FPS looking at the entire map from the outside. So... We're doing pretty good.
Oh, you have motion blur on, you absolute madman. I don't think motion blur actually affects FPS that much.
No, not really. It just annoys the shit out of people. I like it because I have bad opinions.
Oh god, no, no, no! Water reflection is what you should turn off. God.
Yeah. Water reflections, actually, I figured it out. It doesn't blow up the map unless the map is badly optimized. So let me show you. This is
Shocker, RP Downtown V46, V4C or whatever is badly optimized then.
It's broken because it's built off of a decompile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is why my rebuild of Evil Melon is so awful. But
oh god,
okay.
that was...
It'll always be my baby.
That FPS on it that I got on it was just the worst.
And yet my computer was so beefy that it just powered through. Whoops.
Yeah, well...
The wrong way. So that's
I noticed that. I cared about optimization, even though we never figured out why it was such ass. It was just the decompile sucked shit.
Yep. So you can tell this is the first time I've implemented the lighting into this room, and I've gotten kind of good at figuring out how to make a mood for a room, because this room's kind of dark, you can see what's going on.
I really like that vending machine. That vending machine looks awesome.
Oh,
lit up.
Let me go down to the station platform and show you how it looks on the station platform. And by down, I mean up, because it's up here. Look at that. Look at those blended lights. It looks like it's actually casting light. And that's not even HDR. That's just 3 light entities, a blue, a green,
seriously?
and a white.
I thought this was HDR. Wow.
It's compiled with HDR, but if we look at the editor, it's literally 3 light entities, a blue, a green, and a white, just positioned where it would make sense on the vending machine.
Damn.
And that's how it renders. I'm really proud of it, because I had a brainwave when I went to do it. Like, man, I don't want to put a white light here because it's going to look so cheesy. And then I thought to myself, hey, why not make linear lights with real low light values for each color of the vending machine, since it's divided pretty cleanly into 3 colors? And
that looks real pretty. Holy shit.
Real good. Yeah, I've gotten really good with my lighting theory through trial and error, and I'm really proud of how it's turning out. So we got that one-way window. You can see how break it, which just means everybody's gonna break the window, but that's the thing. So now I can sit here with a sniper rifle and do my thing. You just use my sniper rifle to place the...
Congratulations, you made a map that looks better than most Gary's mod maps.
Yeah, It's... I like how they're so far away they're not even shooting at me. Oh, that one's close enough.
Combine AI is kind of confusing.
This is boring. Why do I have Splatoon NPCs?
Gotta get those squids, son.
That.
Gotta get those hot squid kid memes.
It's so funny to listen to them talk over the radio because you can actually figure out what they're thinking by what they're radioing in. Like when you kill the last member of their squad and the guy radios in that it's an outbreak. It's just pretty interesting.
The Combine AI is pretty revolutionary for 2004.
Oh yeah.
Most of Source was basically Crisis for 2004.
I remember, dude, I was in high school, Half-Life 2 came out, and the game just looked great. It looked incredible. Like, bump mapping? Wow.
Slow the fuck down.
Fully reflective textures? Wow.
Fully
reflective textures were so revolutionary that when Blue Shift came out, there was one room in the entire game that had a reflective floor, and it was literally just the same room flipped upside down and through a transparent texture.
Yeah, that's how it was usually accomplished.
Yeah. Okay, so this turned out pretty good. We're doing okay.
Cube maps were a thing before that, but not.
It was.
That's not to the extent.
Not on that level. Yeah. I think things like Deus Ex had cube maps, but it wouldn't reflect anything dynamic, just the static portions of the world. And it wasn't even really a dynamic cube map. It was just the texture with the reflections pre-applied or something like that. I can't remember. But...
Well, N64, Nintendo really loved that Metal Mario texture. That was one of the big things about Mario 64. It was like, look at that Mario. He's pretty as hell. He reflects shit. And they used it for... I think Link's sword uses it as well.
I think so, something like that.
And Ocarina.
Okay, so the security room's done. So I've planned this out in a gameplay-wise perspective. So if you come into the tunnel, the roof of the tunnel borders the spawn area. So if you grab the crates from in here and stack them up, you can plant C4 on the ceiling of the tunnel and then smash the crates. So the detective can't defuse the C4. And it'll blow up anybody that's in the spawn area. I kind of wanted to do that too with the train tunnels, but I'm not sure how I would do that. So I'm kind of trying to think how I want to do that. I might make just a tunnel in there, but then it won't link up with anything. So maybe the train tunnels will be a C4 safe area. You'll plan it like hidden somewhere back here and it'll blow up some people. That's about it. We're almost done with the map. Almost. I'm gonna put in, and I think this is what I'm gonna do now. It's only 9:41. I'm gonna put in a little thing back off of here, removed from the rest of the map, so it's got a place for the traders to hide bodies and stuff, and survivors to camp when the round starts getting late. But first, I'm gonna lean back in my chair and stretch a little bit because my back is killing me.
I wish I could do that. My chair sucks shit, and I'm afraid it's gonna fall over.
I have fallen over in this chair far too many times.
I need a better office chair. That's what I should have asked for Christmas if chairs weren't prohibitively expensive.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm going to turn on my webcam for a second so I can share this with you. So, at my work... Hang on. I'm going to text them back real quick. What the fuck happened? Let me turn on my webcam real quick so I can show you just the awesomeness that is some of the people that I have to work with. As soon as I find OBS here. Shut up. Turn it on here. Come on.
Slim Cat!
Huh?
You deviant?
Oh, shut up.
I can see that. I've
What am I
figured
looking
you
at?
out.
Hang on. I'm not the one who immediately recognizes Slim Cat.
That is true.
Is this?
I have unintentionally outed myself.
Hang on. Position size. Fit to screen. There we go. Let me just show you what I have to work with. So we have a patrol car at work, and one of our workers wrecked it earlier. Let me show you the damage from the original wreck, because the car is totaled now. I don't know if I can. Can I show that to you?
All right, you've got a really nice big phone.
Yeah. No, I can't show that to you. So there was an original accident, and all that happened with the accident was there was some red paint transfer on the right side of the front bumper.
Right.
This is how the front of the car looks now. It is completely fucking trashed. I don't know, I don't know if this would be totaled because it looks like it's all cosmetic damage. That push bumper is done though.
Wow, shit.
Amazing. I love the people that I work with so much.
What, how did this relate to work? I can see that Slim Cat in the reflection, by the way. Good, clearly.
No, you can't. I don't have Slim Cat up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I have Skype. Hang on, John's asking we're in streaming. Twitter.
I could have swore I saw it.
Nope. Hang on.
Enemy?
I will give you an inventory of what I'm streaming. On one monitor I have Skype. On one monitor I have Hammer. On one monitor I have the Sonodore's dashboard for Twitch. And on one monitor I have my Amazon Music, which I'm using to play background music for the stream. Yeah, you can't stop looking for it, can you? Man.
I'll find you. I'm gonna find you. I don't have Slim Cat open, but I have the web client open. I'll hunt you the fuck out right now, and I'm...
Good luck. I don't think I've even signed in on a character that everybody knows about, so don't worry about it. Anyway, so
it is really easy to figure me out. I'm not subtle about it in the slightest, even though I kind of try to be coy a little. I am not.
Yep.
For a while, there was a brief period in my online career where I'd try to separate Useless Ghost and all the other stuff, but the server that hosts all the other stuff is the same server that hosts all my normal stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the same domain name, but if you looked at the IPs, you'd be like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
And see, this is why I don't host weird stuff on my home server.
But I gotta have my .moe domain. I hopped on it the day that registration opened out. I was like, gotta get one.
I should register sonador.moe at some point. Alright, let us... At some point I'm probably gonna go make coffee, so that's an early warning for that. This walkway is exactly 128 units wide. Good. Ugh.
I don't drink coffee because I don't like the bitter taste.
Because you're bad. Terrible.
Fuck you.
Awful.
Fuck you.
Fucking deviant.
Don't need caffeine. Except I do because I drink tea.
Yeah. Oh, I've got little K-cups of English breakfast tea. Dog butt. I don't think Nightbot's in my channel. Hang on, let me fix that.
Oh no!
Stand by. There you go, Kazak. Yeah, you ready for the dog butt? You ready for the dog butt? Everybody's ready for the dog butt. Shut up, Nightbot. Get out of here with that nonsense. I think he literally issued the command when I purged him, so he might not have received it.
What does this do?
Oh, hang on. Broke it.
This is what I think it is.
Yes, this is
I
what you think it
vaguely
is.
remember a command that would just bring up stuff.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Dogfoot,
yep,
dogfoot,
yep,
dogfoot.
yep.
Dogfoot. So, that's the thing.
Ruining your public
Hello.
image right now. Between Slimcat
Surprise,
and this.
we're all... Surprise, we're all furries here.
Hey, whoa. Talk for yourself. I'm only 10%.
Kazag knows what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. Alright, we're just going to arbitrarily cut that 128 unit wide. Is that 128
Cat
units
girls are categorized under the 4E template in Wikipedia, and that is a travesty, by the way.
wide?
I am campaigning to change that in Wikipedia. That's a part of Japanese culture.
Just write a script
I'm an
that
expert in
automatically
Japanese
vandalizes
culture.
the page.
Oh yeah, baby. There is a page on Wikipedia of longtime vandalizers, and like it's the most passive-aggressive page ever.
Because they just keep coming back and vandalizing
Yeah.
it. That's amazing. I like that.
Longtime vandalism on Wikipedia. Most vandalism. Long-term abuse list. Here we go. Here you go, chat. You can have a look at that. Have a look at all these people who just hate Wikipedia.
Yep.
And some of these people have been banned on over 500 accounts.
Yep.
Prolific sock puppeter, over 500 known or suspected socks, whose focus is on professional wrestling figures. Frequently nominates articles for deletion and tag bombs articles with speedy deletion and notability warnings.
That's
There's
amazing.
so many of these.
That is amazing. Okay, I don't know what I want to do with this. Yes, I do. I know what I want to do with this. How do I want to do this? Okay, I figured it out. Fucking love this song.
I don't know what song you're listening to.
It is the second tower from Artonelico 2.
Would not know.
I never played Artonelico. I heard this song on Cheez-It stream, and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, so I just downloaded it.
Don't play those weed games. I'm into RPGs. I don't know what the game's about. It could very well be a very good game.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Like, joy.
I just really like the song.
Except when you're playing something that I don't enjoy, in which case you have bad opinions and should stop.
Yep. It's awful.
Just play Cave Story, by the way. Cave Story is a pretty good game. It's my favorite game. Because I'm
Never
hipster
played
trash
it,
shooting.
but
Like,
I've heard
what
a
the
lot of good stuff about it.
I am campaigning to have a Sonodor Transit Authority stream on Cave Story right now.
Okay. I'll probably stream it at some point. Part of the reason I didn't play it is because I am prolifically bad at shoot-'em-ups like that, platformer shoot-'em-ups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm horrible at them.
The game's not hard until you get to the kind of secret special ending, which is kind of the true ending, which in reality you can just look up online if you're not that good at games. So, like, whatever. But, no, it's not like, horrifically difficult.
Okay. I know Caro Blaster's also good, and I also haven't played that.
Caro Blaster is like Cave Story if... Well, it's like a sequel to... No, it's not a sequel. It's like you want it to be a sequel, but it's not. It's just not. It's like a
spiritual
lower
successor.
story. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because Cave Story 2 would be fucking rad as hell.
Who made Cave Story?
Pixel, and his real, like, he goes by Pixel online. His, like, real name is, Daisuke Amaya? Daisuke Amaya? Daisuke, I guess.
Daisuke. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to pronounce it like slowly. 'Cause some people might not have a strong handle on the Japanese language, like I do, because I took Japanese in high school for like 4 years, and I'm basically fluent.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna duplicate.
I can say my name, I can say thank you, and I know what Apple is. It's Ringo because it's like Ringo Starr. That's how I remembered it.
You know, one could have inferred that because the ending theme to Spice and Wolf is Ringo Biori. But that's okay.
Slow down. Yeah. I don't think I ever watched Spice and Wolf all the way through. I think I watched the first few episodes. I know, I'm such a terrible. I think I don't know if you know them, but I know Kaizek and I have a mutual friend who's really into Spice and Wolf. As in, they have their character is pretty much Spice and Wolf's Horo as a fox, as opposed to a.
Oh, in that case, no, because
also
I was about to say, I know Zercave from Vinesauce was really into.
I'm sorry, I only know Vinny, Joel, and Mental Gen. I'm not really into like the other guys.
He's not even